Alright, so Professor Jim Schultz here for my Finance 512 class. I'm going to do a very brief tutorial going through some of the things we talked about in class in terms of how to get going in your Think or Swim accounts. So I'm going to fire up the software here, and I actually created a new account because, as I showed the class the other night, I had too many things open. I was not allowed to complete any trades. And so even though the markets are clearly closed at 6:47 on January 16th, my new account, I made a J Schultz 512 account. This will at least illustrate, again, how to go through the different steps to put in an order. Because the markets are not open right now, the order will not be filled, but you will still see that it will be waiting in the working order queue. And so once this gets going, we will walk through a very brief tutorial on how to access the screens you need to buy or sell stock to kind of get you guys started. I imagine this will be helpful for you. And so when you first log into the software, remember that the first screen that we see here, as soon as it cooperates and shows up, this first screen that comes up is, again, if you remember, this is where you can watch CNBC, right? This is what Thinkorswim calls your home tab. Just X that out. You don't want anything to do with that, right? And if you want to get back to it, you would just click this home tab up here, but we don't want that, so we're going to X that out. Alright, so now if you remember, you see my account is all set back to zeros in terms of it's fresh, it just got started. Remember, the first thing you want to do whenever you log in is select margin account. That is very important. And so you'll see that your numbers drop to 100,000. That's because you have 100,000 in your margin and 100,000 in your IRA. But that's a margin account, so you can trade up to 200,000. But again, remember, how do you buy or sell stock? Well, again, you want to click this trade tab. Right? So I click the trade tab, and then you type in the ticker symbol. So maybe you want to buy some Starbucks. So you type in SBUX, enter, and then remember, here's your bid, here's your ask. Right? So I want to buy some Starbucks, so I'm going to click the ask, and then I'm actually going to minimize this left-hand portion like we showed in class by clicking this blue arrow. So I want to buy some Starbucks, so once I click the ask, I come down to this screen. It's stock. I want to buy it. Maybe you want to buy 5 shares just to kind of get your feet wet, and it's in Starbucks. Don't worry about the position effect right now, and it's still a stock. Remember, we know what a limit order is now that we learned it in class the other night, but you do not want to use this yet until you are a little bit more seasoned in trading and whatnot. So I would just choose market order, so the price tab goes away. For your market orders, this must always be set today. Confirm and send. You get a recap of your order. It's to open a brand new position. You send it. Now again, the markets are not open, so this order cannot possibly be filled. But if you go back to your monitor tab, you will see working orders, 1 order, Starbucks, 5 shares. Here's the time I placed it. And then once this order is filled, you will see it show up. It already shows up in this box because Thinkorswim is waiting for this order to get filled. It says, alright, you have an order in Starbucks. You don't have any shares yet. Your quantity is still at 0. But we know that if you leave this order up here, tomorrow morning when the bell goes off, you're going to be the proud owner of 5 fake shares in Starbucks. So that is how you buy stock on the Think or Swim software.